once again back at the Red Cross. You attend a fire on a February morning at 3:30. It's probably 10 below zero. What do they put on a fire? Water. What happens to water at 10 below zero? Yes, the whole field is slick ice. And doggone it, there you are in your fireman's boots, and you navigate it as if it was just plain ground, simply because you just instinctively know how to take a step with relationship to your center of gravity. I have, since I was reaching into my 80s, I'm no longer doing the Red Cross, but I'm able to drive for the disabled veterans, so we can pick up veterans at their homes and take them to the VA hospital. And once again, through the friendship here, it gives us the ability to read the people that are riding with us. You get a sense of whether they just need dead silence, or whether they just need an ear, or whether they just plain want a good old-fashioned conversation, and you give them what they need. And it's a marvelous thing that, once again, comes from the socialization. Well, Betty and I each have been to more than 150 competitions. More than 30 of them are nationals. Some 20 plus dance fantasies. The first one was on Broadway. Some of you will remember that. Or Coming to America. But we learned to say goodbye. And that's a great way to end a conversation of that sort. We were fortunate to visit all kinds of wonderful national venues: Chicago, Bal Harbor, Nevada, even the Nevada Star Ball, the Puddocks so graciously actually invited us to their house as a studio one of the times we were there. Toronto, Fort Walton Beach, Reston, Virginia, Minneapolis, Montreal. We had a wonderful showcase competition in Montreal that was just showcases. It was a fabulous thing. You know, when things happen and you want to do something to support your spouse, Betty had to have a hip replaced. And at that Oktoberfest, I was able to dedicate a number to her. And they even let me talk in front of the dais there. And so I was able to dedicate a nice number with Miss Elke to kind of perk her up and make her feel a little more cheerful, because she couldn't dance at that Oktoberfest. We've been able to dance at all kinds of wonderful venues. We danced for 3 years at Summerfest with Debbie Lorette. And in that case, it was on the tarmac. They didn't have a wooden dance floor at that time. But you still put on a pretty decent show. We put on a several-day show at Germanfest. And they did have a wooden floor there. Nice crowd of about 400 people each time. And we tried to, they all took flyers about getting lessons at Fred Astaire. I don't think they returned one, but they sure wanted the flyers. There was an opening at the Berner Botanical Gardens. We danced there. The opening of the Freighter Hospital we had a chance to put on the dance show there. Several times we put on shows at the Catholic home, and they had a live band. And this time, Betty and I were doing a Viennese waltz together. So we passed the word along to the band, now look, 30 measures per minute, please, on this waltz that we're gonna do. Well, they picked up a good old Lawrence Welk tempo. And poor Betty had to hang on for dear life. A number of months ago, Dr. Oz appeared on a morning show. And he was talking about crossword puzzles to keep the brain engaged, about walking or running or doing little squats to keep you physically in shape. And he talked about getting involved with social groups so that you keep your brain active and alert. And after going through a whole string of these, he said, but there's one activity that does the whole thing. Dancing. And I quote him directly. As a matter of fact, I think I even recorded that little bit if you needed it at the time. Yes, but Dr. Oz too. It's very interesting when we go and visit some of the senior venues. Well, for one thing, yes, they may be in their 80s and 90s, but I do encourage them, if they can, come in and do some dancing. If they somehow just can't bring themselves to do this, how about sponsoring your children or your grandchildren? You'll give them a gift, and one thing that the older people know, and I'm becoming more aware of this as years go. While we're young and we're doing these things, we don't think of the fact that we're building memories of friendships, of adventures, that at this age are so wonderful to have. And I'm sorry for people that don't have this kind of experience and memories, because it really gives a wonderful meaning to the life you've lived. And even if you get to the point where you can't perform, let's say, and dance as you once did, and I am, at this point, probably not going to lift a lady overhead. But you don't have to. I got the excuse. So, I can mention this to these people who are at the age that these memories are so important. And let them know that even when they sponsor their children or their grandchildren, the recipients of that sponsorship won't appreciate it until they get a little bit farther along in life. And it's well worth it